What's going on, guys? Welcome to another vlog. We're running full force. We have all the crews out in the field. Today's kind of a busy day, so I said, you know what? Let's bring you guys along. So first thing is first, we're gonna go ahead and stop at one of our job sites, and we'll see you guys there. Another thing I do want to talk about is if I only got to choose one app, one system that I can use and nothing else, what would it be? And I really had to think hard about that. So I do want to talk about it in this YouTube video. I'm going to tell you guys what I would choose and also why. So stay tuned for that. ¿Están las medidas? Oh, aquí no. So, ahora tú vas a agarrar otra tableta porque sí es para que. Es que la tienes muy chiquita tú.
Ah, lo mismo me dijeron el sábado.
So like deck you don't need anything. Paver patio. And measurements wise, go off of the design always.
Okay.
But as far as like what they bought from the design, it's everything's here on the job planner. Dos, tres. Última. Mira la pipa, güey, espérate. All right, guys. So what just happened right now? We were obviously at a job site running. Anytime a job site starts, I do like to be there just to make sure that, you know, we're all on the same page. Once again, yes, they do have 3D renderings. Yes, they have measurements. We already gone through it multiple times. But then again, at the end of the day, for me, I want to make sure that the customer is going to get what we sold them. And yeah, so definitely when it starts, I like to make those stops and obviously throughout the process. And another cool thing is that, as you guys saw, I'm helping these guys, you know, learn a lot because we hired quite a bit this year. We got a lot of new guys in the field, and then again, I don't want it to be just guys in the field. As you guys can, you know, see, I was teaching him how to order his materials, you know, talking to him about calling his own inspections, and just growing every single day because it's not just about coming to work and getting the job done. And you know, yes, obviously, the money's great, but you know, then again, even then, they won't make more money if they don't take more responsibility. And I always tell them, like, hey, I don't want you to make the same amount of money every single year. So, yeah, a lot of I'm definitely going to be a lot more in the field this year. I'm putting a lot more emphasis in our team this year. We did eliminate a lot of subs, you know, for reasons that you know, I could talk in a whole another video, but. This year, we are bringing just about everything in-house. We have a carpentry crew that builds all our pavilions, all of our decks. The only thing we don't have in-house yet is going to be electrical and then all of our plumbing, you know, like gas lines and stuff like that. But all right, guys, so let's talk about the one software, one system that I would choose if I could only pick one. So let's get straight to it. Don't mind my eyes, it's super bright out here. But anyway, like, I got the question of like, okay, what's the one software, one system that I would choose over all of them? And I really had to think about it. And I couldn't even answer the question right then and there. But it all came down to, you know, obviously the one. And I ended up picking Jobber. And I'm going to tell you guys why. There's many like aspects of why I chose Jobber and why it makes sense. And even just the first one with like, leave Jobber aside, CRM. Like, even if we just talk about the CRM portion of it. And actually, then I really thought about it. I'm like, okay, well, let me ask myself, like, okay, what are the key points of why, right? And I wrote a bunch of notes on my phone, and, you know, I'm going to read them off to you of, like, what are at least, like 5 different reasons why I would choose a CRM, whether it's Jobber or whether it's another one, but I do prefer Jobber, and I'll tell you guys why. The very first thing I wrote down was, you know, having a CRM makes you look a lot more professional than you think. So, and let me explain to you what I mean by that. You know, when the potential customer calls in, if you have a CRM, immediately you go ahead and ask them for their name, obviously first, last name, email, address, phone number, all the basics. That way when you do schedule a consultation, you already have that information. It's those minor details that when you show up to you already spoke to the customer once, and then you show up to the consultation, and then you ask them for the same information they already gave you. I mean, for me, that's kind of annoying. And if I hire somebody, if they truly know what they're doing, immediately, I know that as soon as they pick up the phone and get in contact with me, before they get disconnected or before they hang up, they're gonna ask for that basic information. And I don't know, that just to me, and I'm assuming to a lot of people, that's you're gonna look a lot more professional. So that's the very first thing. And then another thing is, like, for us within our CRM, within Jobber, when we add a customer, we also have a notes section, right? Where, you can describe like what they want, what they need. Like that way you're not just showing up to a consultation and asking them the same questions you already asked them, when you talk to them over the phone. So that's number one. Second reason why the CRM is going to be super, super important. Like I said, I do all of this within Jobber. I can't speak for other CRMs. So the other thing is, once that lead comes in, you have them in your CRM, then you can keep track of them, whether it's to follow up, whether it's, to send them an estimate, whatever it is, always within your CRM, you should have a place where you can keep track of that pipeline. Now, that way if you have this all written in a notebook, you're going to lose it. You don't know when you talk to that customer. You don't know if you're supposed to send them a quote. You don't know if you sent them a quote. You don't know if you have to follow up. Without a system like this, you're going to be all over the place. And having a system where you can just put their name in, and then you can follow that process, whether it's sending them an estimate, following up, sending them a message, to collect payment, whatever it is, you should be able to keep track of this pipeline of this customer. What part of your pipeline are they in? And that way, every single day, you're able to push them forward as much as you can. So, like I said, that's super important. The other one I wrote down was, the other thing is in Jobber. I mean, like I said, I can't speak for other ones, right? Other CRMs within Jobber, you can do automated follow-ups. So if you have all this in a notebook, if you're texting everybody manually and all that, it's going to be tough. You can do it, but not at scale. So if you have, let's say, 10 people you went to go see, you call them, they don't answer. Well, within Jobber, you can actually have it to where it's automated, and they can follow up through text and email. That way, while you're out working, if you're still in the field, you're working in the field and in the office at the same time, because all that stuff is automated. And guess what? If you follow up with 20, 30 people while you're in the field and you don't have to touch anything, well, guess what? You're probably going to get a notification saying somebody wants to talk about a project or even pay for a deposit. The fourth one, this one's huge. Having a CRM means you have leads forever. And what do I mean by that? It's like, this is a big one for us and for everyone, but I don't think people realize it's like right now we're in April, we're booked to almost September. And I'm going to tell you why. Because of our CRM. When you have slow times, during November, December, January, all those months, well, guess what? Even if you pay, you can spend as much money as you want, but if you don't have, leads just won't come in as much. People are not as motivated. I mean, by us, there's 2 feet of snow. They're not motivated to buy or even call you. So guess what we do? You go into Jobber, create a campaign, retarget all those people that you possibly sold one time already, you haven't sold, and like for us, like I said, the last few weeks we booked so many jobs just from customers that we followed up with through Jobber, and then guess what? All of it was automated. You create a campaign. It can be, let's see, sign up before spring rush. It can be an email blast, text blast, and then from there, these people just simply respond yes to whatever campaign you put together, right? That's your job. And then even they have templates. They have templates that you can use, but just reaching out to those people that already have somewhat trust in you because they probably met you one time already. They probably did business with you already. Who knows? So that's probably the biggest one for me, honestly. Like having a CRM and being able to have all those names, phone numbers, and emails, that's money. So if you're still putting all this in pen and paper using pen and paper to keep all your leads, that's wild to me. Yeah, so the last one kind of goes back to the same thing, is, lifetime value of a customer. That last one kind of goes it's almost the same, but it's a little bit different. Like, it's thinking a little bit deeper on lifetime value. So, yeah, like I said, you can customize this within Jobber and create campaigns. For example, within your CRM, you can tag people that are, you built a patio for in the last 5 years, and guess what? Now you can retarget them for maintenance. Now you can retarget them for a structure, whatever it is. Like for us, we're right now, we probably closed another 50 to 100K in maintenance deals. And we didn't have to advertise. We didn't have to do anything. All we did was go back into Jobber and figure out, okay, these are all the customers that we've done a patio for. Let's simply create a campaign, reach out to them, send them a text, and email, say, hey, do you want maintenance? Obviously, you're going to word it better than that. But most people, we got an 80% response, went out to see them, boom, and guess what? Those people you've already closed. So it's a 90% chance you're going to close those people. So, like I said, that CRM is key. Quick update. It's almost 4 o'clock. We've been working here, just meetings back to back. But let me fill you guys in. So this is what I've been doing here for the last, I'm going to say 30 minutes. So we get job updates. This is how I get updates without having to be in the field. We use Loom, Discord. So let me show you guys what how is it that we do updates for our team. Check this out. So like, for example, every day after lunch, they send us updates. Check this out. So this morning there was a deck, and apparently, by lunchtime they already took this thing down. They got the step. So they give us a pretty good overview of what's happening. And then from there, they come up with a plan for the rest of the day. Then also, for tomorrow. So we always try to stay a day ahead. This is All right, so we just got done with our weekly finance meeting. I will say that was tough. Yeah, guys, I will say, like, I think I'm a lot more tired the days that I spend more time in the office. I will admit, dealing with all the back end stuff is a lot more tiring than being out in the field. Man, it's heavy some days. It's heavy. The more you grow, the more, people you have to deal with, the more, I don't want to say problems, but they are problems, right? And, some days it just hits you harder than others. And then, dealing with like other contractors, obviously with a lot of employees, even customers. And a lot of times people are pissed off, people are pissed off. And, yeah, man, it's tough. Like today, I feel like everybody took it out on me dealing with, just random stuff. So check this out. For the people that don't know that are watching, I do host my community, Modern Day Contractor in School. This is where, if you join, which I will have a link in the description for you guys to book a free call in case you guys want to join the community. But anyway, what is the community about? Like, for example, at the end of the day, it's me and my team helping you guys, have all of the tools for success. Like this guy here, my guy Alex, he's out from Chicago, and he's asking for help here. So you can see he asked regarding the business structure. I responded with a Loom. I typically respond to videos. Well, before we end the video, we're gonna do some Q&A. I actually posted this on my Instagram. If you don't follow me on my Instagram yet, go follow me. It's Alex Guzman Official on Instagram. So first question, what form of advertisement got you the most business when you were starting off? I started 20 plus years ago, and it hasn't changed. It's still working to this day because remember, our demographic that we typically target is on Facebook. We do use all platforms. We use Google, Instagram, Facebook, even run some YouTube ads. We've run some TikTok ads. Like we've tried it all. SEO, you name it, and we run everything across the board. But at the end of the day, for whatever reason, Facebook does bring us the most leads, and the reason is because our demographic lives in that platform a lot more. And I also think that we go into different platforms with a different mindset, no matter what demographic, what age group. When you go into Instagram, you want to go see more shiny stuff. You want to be really more entertained. When I go into Facebook, I think about more of makes me think about Facebook Marketplace when I'm on the hunt for something, whether it's a business, whether it's something. So Facebook is going to be a banger. That is something that we teach our guys in MDC, how to run their own Facebook ads so that we don't have to hire an agency. When you're starting out, it's tough. What is the hardest thing about owning your own business? Oh man, that's a kind of a loaded question. I think, and it's going to be something different every day, but the way I'm feeling today is one of the hardest things is being able to, I don't know how to say it, disconnect. Not disconnect, because I stopped trying to disconnect because I know that's just not going to happen. It's been a long time since I've sold myself on the idea of I've committed to this business and I won't be able to just forget about it or disconnect. It is what it is. It's more of being able to have all these things going on in the background and still, not pretend, because things are fine, but have a positive attitude on other things. And I guess it's just knowing that a lot of things could be falling apart and you still having to go through your day. And another thing is, it's you have to realize that, and it took me a very long time, that even doesn't matter what you're going through, it doesn't mean that other people can't come to you with problems. Today I had a rough day, and it doesn't mean that other people, my family, my wife, and my team can't. Before I'd be like, hey man, I'm going through bigger shit than you are. You can't come to me with problems. And the answer is that, to me, that's wrong. And it took me a very, very long time to realize that. And it's one of the hardest things to do, because, we're humans, and we revert back to, hey, my problems are bigger than yours. In all reality, a position that I decided to take is, I can't say that, because nobody told me or is forcing me to take on the responsibility I chose, to take on. Is it Guzman, I think? So I'm starting a marketing agency to help service businesses like yours. What can I do to stand out? So this is a great question, because I have a great friend of mine that is doing the same, and he asked me for advice the other day on what is it that we're looking for as contractors to stand out. And I would say what I told him is, don't be like every other marketing agency out there. It's like, hey, pay me X amount and I'll run your ads, because we literally teach our guys for free how to run their Facebook ads. Bringing more value of teaching these contractors how to. There's some guys out there doing it right. That actually work with some of my guys in MDC, right? With the organic content, teach these guys how to market themselves organically. That way, their paid ads work very, very well in conjunction with one another. And just bringing in more value as how to help them stand out, just like how you're trying to stand out as an agency. Help these guys, run ads, because running ads is gonna get them in front of more people, and it's gonna get more eyes on them. Now let's teach them and help them how to act when they get that attention, if that makes sense. So I would say, in your packages or in your monthly fee, include whether it's weekly meetings or whatever it is, to help them gather that organic content that they need in conjunction with the paid ads. And then also maybe help them structure their business a little bit more on the back end. Because like I said, you're going to help them get eyes on them. But now is, what is it that they do with that attention in order to convert? And, I know it's a lot of work on the front end, but on long term, it's gonna make you look good as an agency, because guess what? They're gonna convert a lot more with the leads that you get them. Because that's been, I think, one of the biggest issues with guys that I have that, jump from one agency to another, is that they don't realize that it's like, hey, the agency is doing one part, you have to do your part. And, us as contractors, we're not smart enough to realize what that other part is. So I hope that helps, man, and good luck with your agency. If there's anything else that I can ever do, let me know. I'm going to wrap up the vlog here, 6 p.m. I appreciate you guys following along. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next video.